broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
If you get in trouble, bring it home to me.
Okay, welcome everybody to AfterBuzz TV Bar Rescue. I'm your host. So happy to be here for this one for obvious reasons, because we talked about pirates. That's 56 seconds in. I referenced pirates. Anyway, Kevin Undergaro. Sitting next to me, the one, the only, the longest veteran of this show.
Yes, the original, yes. Dorinda Barker.
Dorinda Barker, and of course, next to her is...
Hi, Ashley Daniels. Hello,
my
everyone.
little cutie pie guinea.
Oh, you know, I try.
And sitting in with us this week...
Paul Zahn. How are you guys?
Paul Zahn, thank you so much for having me. So I know you're a little disheveled,
Sorry,
Ashley.
I was just getting my notes because I was so excited talking to your mom, and then I was like, oh, I forgot my notes. But
oh my God! Now that you reference my mom, I wish she had her headset on so we could get her.
Can I just say something? How jealous to see you hanging out with Taffer and Nicole.
I'm very lucky, I'll tell you.
It was amazing to see you there.
Okay, let's reference that. So where were you hanging out with Taffer and Nicole?
I was in Vegas for, they had a bunch of different events for the Bar HQ, and it was like a whole week-long thing. Mia was there. So I got to go to a club called Bank in the Bellagio where they were celebrating, and it's just so cool to see how people respond to John, because he's so humble, and so I forget that he's John Taffer, but even though he's such a strong presence, but people just, like, they go crazy when they see him. It's ridiculous.
He doesn't go crazy on anybody at the bar?
No, he's so cool. He sat down so chill, and I mean, it's literally he's just so respectful and just so humble, and I just love that guy.
No, it's like rock star status now.
You don't even know. I'm looking at. I even said to him, I'm like, you are so famous, but you just come off so relatable, just like a normal person. It's just, I'm like, if it was me, I'd be like, hey, do you know who I am? I'm John Taffer. Do you remember that? Do you know who I am?
Well, was it jammed? The event?
Jammed. So everybody that went to the whole week-long event was there. So a lot of, older men, grown men that are owning bars at this club where there's usually like 21-year-old girls all dancing, like half naked. So it was a very interesting crowd of people. But yeah,
well,
it was
by the
really
way,
cool.
you just described Vegas, but
it was Vegas, exactly. But it was cool. I was very lucky to be there. It was very cool.
And doesn't he have a table or something named after himself
at
in
Excess?
Vegas
Yeah, I think it's at Excess. Yeah,
that's cool.
Pretty sure it's at
cool.
Excess. Yeah, I mean, he is like the king of Vegas when he walks through the door anywhere.
But it's funny. He always was, even before this show. I mean, he was very well known in this for this end of the business. So this has just brought him, again, even more.
Yeah. And
but
Nicole's amazing.
And his wife is just a doll too. She's so much fun.
Oh my God.
Okay, so tonight's episode, I love this. I can't wait to just go right to pirates, but we'll save for last. Let's go in order, and we'll start with the Denver location, Zanzibar, aka Solids and Stripes, aka Zanzibar. So as we remember our Ami, our crazy immigrant.
Yes.
Yep.
He was in the Israeli army, if I was correct.
That's what it was. Yes. I was trying to figure out, is he Israeli or German?
Yeah, he was Israeli, and he was in the Israeli military, so he has that mentality level of being in the military, but still also being crazy.
And breaking plates. That's like one of his hobbies.
Yeah.
Free sex.
I was just gonna. I'm like, is it right? Yeah. Where did he learn that? He didn't learn that in the army. Where did he learn that?
I don't know. Hot-blooded.
I mean, really? Unbelievable.
That was also the episode that John got into a fight because Ami went off on Duffy. They called him a fat little man.
Why don't you play fat boy?
Yeah, fat boy. And that just started it all.
that would do it.
Yeah, no, I didn't like. I was reminded that John got shoved physically, and the biggest thing I had said for years with this is like, come on, 3-ball Spike, like get the guy some protection. Adam Carolla's show from day one. If Skip was a former MMA fighter, number one, but then they even have security on top of that.
Yep.
And John's in the middle, like getting like I didn't like seeing it anyway, but the renovation was beautiful, and it was the jury's still out. That was John's conclusion. But it was like they were so close, but just why Zanzibar? Why?
Why two names?
What's the Twitter handle? What's the Facebook name? Is it Zanzibar? Is it Solids and Stripes? Like,
certain
that's so
parts
confusing.
of it are Zanzibar, but as John says, that's just so confusing, and it's taking the old bad reputation, bringing it along to a new blank slate. It's just...
But they kept so much of Solid and Stripes. It was more solid and Stripes than it was even Zanzibar.
Everything was everything was Solids and Stripes, but the name. That just must have been just an old guy being stubborn. But I mean, he went along with everything else. 40% up, I think, in was it drinks, 50% food, 20% in games. Right?
Yes, so he's up
50% in drinks.
110% technically.
It's crazy.
Which is fantastic.
But you could see too. Sorry, but you could see how when he was walking around checking on everybody, he was just in his zone. He was like at this point, maybe he didn't name the bar the right name or whatever, but he's going around, he's checking on everybody, he's making sure everything's okay. He's putting a lot of time and energy now, and he's excited to see that people are finishing their food and all the little things I think he was avoiding before. Yeah,
it's like he ran 24 miles of the 26-mile marathon almost, but it's like, dude, just. I always say to these owners, why can't you just put a little plaque in the corner? Or even if you did take down the sign and you put the sign, you could light it up, put it in the corner of the room, almost make it an homage, something just kind of fun, like, I would do a photo of him and John maybe shaking hands, or pictures from the episode, and it's like this was once called Zanzibar and now it's Bar Rescue. I mean, the Bar Rescue came in and they changed it. I mean, so fine, so you still can keep some of that sentiment, but to put up two signs,
it's confusing.
It's confusing, and it did not look like a Zanzibar.
No.
That's a very smart idea for all of them to do, though.
Right.
That's like a plaque of it's like the Zagat review of whatever, an A rating or something. Just seeing a picture like John Taffer was here. Like he approved this place.
Right.
I would walk in and be trusting of it.
I think it's Burbank Airport in LA has a lot of old photos of the original airport, and they have some actual artifacts and some props from back in the day. They could do the same thing with Zanzibar. It'd be fun to have just a couple of things that maybe were taken down, or with the sign. You could even make it so it was cool. It could be
That's a very good idea.
But to go that far, insanity.
Or move it to the bathroom. Just put the Zanzibar
sign
in the bathroom. That's where you put all the stuff like that.
That's actually not a bad idea. Like in between the men and the women's room, right there.
No, right outside. You're right. That would be great.
There.
Just walking down, like, oh wow. And so you're waiting to go to the bathroom, and you read the write-up, and you read the.
Great idea. I like that idea.
God. Okay. Well, jury's out, but I would say that this has been a success. Yeah. I mean, other than that, that's just ridiculous. Okay. Pat's Cocktails. This is close by in Valley Village. I guess I didn't.
Yeah,
I forgot that.
Maybe like 4 miles away.
And let's talk about bunny cocaine. Did you see? I wrote that down. The owner had a bunny named Cocaine.
Oh, classy.
Now, do you remember this owner? Really, he irritated me because he's one of these guys who collects trophies of animals.
Yeah.
And while I'm not so far gone to judge people about eating meat or anything like that. It's not about that. But when you're just killing them for sport, just to hang up things in your house, I don't like that. I'm probably going to bother a lot of people by saying that, but it just seemed like that's where his mind was at anyway. It was everywhere where it needed to be. He felt like just a 16-year-old kid just playing around. When we first saw the episode, I remember this one very well. Now, the manager was hands off. He was lame, making out with his wife or his girlfriend the whole night.
Yeah, his wife. Yep. That was his wife.
And, to go back and see, I'm feeding my bunny who's named Cocaine. It's just, does that not say anything more about that owner?
Okay, can I just say, did you feel like when you saw the video of him, you were going into a cooking segment of some kind?
You have to have the red wine in
Yeah,
order to be a real
and
cook.
like there's
By the way,
food all over the
and the food was prepped really well, and the steaks were laid out. Again, he just must have put money up for this bar, and he probably has a lot of money. And now it's about the fun. It's about going and hunting. It's about hanging out with his friends, cooking for his friends. Fine, just do that. But then why own a bar?
It's a vanity project.
Yeah,
Total vanity
project.
project.
It goes back to what we say a lot of times on the show. Like, just go to your basement, take 40 or 50 grand, renovate your basement to look like a bar. Have your friends come over, and then you're fine. No one's going to get hurt.
Right.
You're not going to lose any money.
Right. He just didn't want to be there. That's all. He just every time you see him, he just looks like he wants to be anywhere in the world but there.
But Pat's Cocktail.
Yeah.
And there were only 7 people there on a Saturday night, so it seems to be doing very well.
And but shout out to Viviana is her name? Was it? Yeah, Vivian. Just still has a great attitude. Still,
Yeah.
John
She was-
Taffer loves her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was really insecure though about when Russell walked in,
Yeah.
about how she looked, how the drink was, how this was. They didn't even keep up with the drinks. And Jimmy, who was the manager,
the day they walked out, that was over with. So now you were asking this girl to remember how to make these drinks that she hasn't made in 2 years.
yes,
Right.
exactly.
And they're not even giving her all the tools she needs. So it's like a
Exactly.
mixology bar
I
that
mean-
you can't fully do mixology. So it's like
Those tools can't be that expensive. Like a strainer.
They're not.
What was it? A funnel?
No.
You know what, Jimmy? On the way to the 99 cents, on the way to work, you jump in the 99 cents store, you grab a strainer. Like, stop.
Lazy.
The only I rarely ever defend anything these knuckleheads say. The only thing I'll defend is, the flowers, the edible flowers. For these guys, like, sometimes when you're coaching people, you have to know their limitations. You have to give them realistic parameters.
Right.
And come on, these guys can't get out of their own way. They're not going to go spend $40 on edible flowers to garnish a drink. I get it. Like the war, we've lost the war. You know what I mean? Like, so I get that they didn't go do that, but the other tools and whatever, it's just it's clear the place is just that'll be gone in a year or two.
Yeah.
Just by seeing that crowd.
I think if they did do it though, it really would have been an indicator as to how much they are trying and how much how much effort they're putting in and willing to put in. So it could have been more of like something just to keep them kind of on track. Like, okay, every week we have to go buy these flowers. Whatever it is, it's just something that's like, this is a scheduled
But I could
thing.
tell that clientele.
Yeah, of course.
They don't
They're
have
not gonna
I'd
do
rather
it.
them spend the $40 on something else.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's only the one little sliver I'll give them.
Right.
Other than that, it's like
Right.
I don't know. I never liked those two anyway.
Well, it would have
two
been
owners.
worse.
Not the worst owners and manager I've seen.
They're not the
But I
worst,
never
but
cared
they're-
for them.
Not the
they didn't even have lemons. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like one of the most basic things to have in a bar.
Yeah,
And
but-
the owner was just laughing about it, as you recall,
Right.
in the first episode we saw him.
I think it would have been worse if they had the flowers and not the strainer, though. So at least they don't have the strainer and not the flowers. It's like,
which is very true.
Right?
Good point on that.
I'm just thinking, like, imagine if they did that, they didn't have the funnel.
Okay, we have
Or the lemons.
Can somebody here just try to find out where this place is, because it must be close by, because we can
Yeah.
do our own recon.
All right.
But I feel like this place is not going to be around much longer.
No.
Unless,
If we
by
do
the
this,
way,
it's got to be soon.
but yeah, well,
Tonight.
okay. Let me preface it with this. You guys all know this, or maybe you don't, but there's a lot of bars like that in Southern California that I don't know how they stay in business. It's just like a couple of people kind of here and there. There's ones in North Hollywood and Burbank, and
They're
those-
all over. There's one by the
Right.
Burbank Airport, and Kelly Oliski, who used to be here but she isn't anymore. We would always drive past it. She's like, we have to go there. I think it's called the Airport Lounge or something, and it would look just like Pat's Cocktail, but just bigger. It was like,
and
I'm
it's,
going there.
and they somehow stay around. They hang in. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
swing by.
All right.
It's right down the street.
I know it is, right?
It's Riverside Drive in North Hollywood.
All right, we have to do
10
some
minutes
recon.
away.
Okay.
See ya.
Let's move on to
Broadcast from there.
Moonrunners,
Periscope.
formerly named characters. So we remember this was a family, very New York.
Yes.
Dare I say Italian? Would you say Italian, Ashley?
The third one,
Yeah.
the characters, whatever.
Yeah.
Felt like they were.
I mean, they're pretty outgoing. I mean, they had the
whole vibe.
the personality and everything.
Sunday dinner.
Yeah, that's what I was
I would
thinking.
say, yeah.
And he was the son, like working hard, but definitely I could see his way is the highway, and the sometimes the girls in those
Yeah.
families, Ashley, as you will attest to, aren't the most respected.
You know.
And I think that that wore that girl down into the position she was in. And anyway,
Yeah.
to see her now off doing something else
Yep.
was right. It was the right thing.
I mean, they
Absolutely.
fought. I mean, at times when you were watching that episode, I was wondering if it really was going to get physical between the two of them at times. And she couldn't remember anything.
She was beaten
Not-
down, though.
yeah,
Yeah, but
she
she was
was-
beaten
You think
down.
that's what it is at that point?
When I remember seeing that, she was crying out for love. She was crying. There was more there. She was
Right.
she was beaten down. And what happens is the families get frustrated with those people, and then they beat them down even more.
Yeah.
Not realizing that, you're just making matters worse. Best
Yeah.
thing is that she's now doing her own business, and she looked. You had said that looked more relaxed, Dorinda, right?
Yeah, she looked more relaxed, even though she, I'm not going to talk about someone's weight, but I thought she looked healthier. She looked happier. Like, you could just see, like, when in the episode, she was so gaunt and just not there, almost had dead eyes about her. And in this episode, when you go back and you see her,
It's a different person.
It's a whole different person,
Yeah.
smiling. She just was so happy doing her own thing and not being
Just
under
away
the
from
thumb of
them.
her brother.
Right. And so even though business-wise, he's someone who could be that person that could be good for business, not necessarily the nicest. He's going to be tough on his kids. You'll see. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
again, I can speak because it's my culture, so I understand. Like I see that
Absolutely.
all the time. Right?
Of course.
But
Firsthand.
But that being said, these guys listened to everything John said, and put it into effect. And my God, we're talking about franchising. What else can we say?
They even built on it with the moonshine,
Yes.
the moonshine flights and everything like that. So they added more elements to it that were right in vein with what John sort of taught them, which I thought was pretty innovative.
And I think there was some tchotchke that they created, that the souvenirs that they're selling, that you could see it in the shots, but they didn't expand on it. It's just incredible. It's really amazing, and I realize as I watch it, and this seems so elementary, but I'm going to say it anyway, that very few businesses make it to begin with. I forget the number of bars that fail.
70%.
70% of bars fail. So then John goes and attacks these 70%, and a lot of them aren't going to listen, or most of these people are deep into adulthood. So how do you really change somebody? You just can't.
No.
So they're almost about to fail. John's about to fail even before he walks in the door. He doesn't really have much of a chance, but it's great that I can see where only a minority of these succeed, but like this and the place in New Orleans, it's amazing to see when it clicks.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting with the family dynamic on top of it too, because it's not just like a work dynamic. You add the family layer into it, and it's a lot. It's
Right.
a lot.
Yes, and then you got to go home, and that's the same people you're with all day. And it's like, how was your day? Same as yours. I mean, there's a lot
Right.
of challenges in that.
But now that it's the parents, or is it the mother and the boyfriend or
Yeah.
whatever, and the sisters out, now it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I can see now, but yeah, that was a success. And then typical with every bar rescue, we learn a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So we see that if you're gonna do a spin-off bar, if you're gonna do a franchise, never invest more than 75%, right, of what you have from the first bar, and then you want to be 10 to 12 miles apart, so you don't cannibalize the other bar, and maybe not so far so you can't get to that other place and supply it and do what you want. So nice little tip.
And you're
It's
always
amazing.
learning something from this show.
I was just
This
gonna
is
say
the
that.
thing.
Always.
You're always learning. I'm always taking something away from this show. Every episode, there's always one thing, whether it's little or whether it's big, but that was one of them tonight.
What other show is on TV right now that if a parent saw their kid watching it, they would, like, this is the only show that they would say, okay, you're watching TV, but you're learning something. Like, this is the type of show that there's really no other show that you leave actually learning something new. It's you really, now kids can say, I'm watching TV, but I'm learning. It's like that one channel, that one show.
No, they fire on all cylinders.
What other shows, really? I cannot think of one show that I learned from other than that. Maybe HGTV, there's a few things.
And people who
You have it on HGTV,
That's
but
it.
here's what you have with this is that you have the balance between you being highly entertained and then you're also learning
Exactly. You don't get the drama on HGTV.
Right.
And people who are aspiring to open bars, it's a great show for them to watch before they do, so they know what mistakes not to
And they
make.
all are.
Yes.
And they all are. So Ash, to that point, were you noticing that being at the convention with John? Were you noticing a lot of people going up to him saying, I'm a bar owner and I've learned so much? I bet you, right?
Well, I wasn't, unfortunately, at the convention because Rich had to go to work. So I only got to go to a few of the events, but I saw a line of men that were, they had their little papers that, with the invites on it, and every single guy would go up to him. And he takes the time. It doesn't matter if he had to say the same thing 50 times. He just takes the time to tell every single person whatever he needs to talk to them about. It's so inspiring. I can't imagine as somebody who's maybe going to think about opening one or already does own one. They have the opportunity to go and talk to him, and he's going to give them, every single person, unique advice that is completely tailored to them. And that's just like how.
There's
crazy.
no school for that.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, it's not just hi goodbye. That's not what he does. That's not his. That's not how he
But
is.
that's also
why he is who he is.
That's why the show works, and so many of the other, say, rescue-based shows. My advice to producers out there who are doing them, you have to find someone like John, who's not only an expert and the very best at what he does, is also a creative and an innovator, is great television. Okay, so he's good on TV, but then lastly, he does want to help people and he does want to fix the bars. And so when I look at all the other shows that don't succeed, they don't have those elements. So there's always, even if they might succeed because they stay on the air, but they don't have the monster success of this show because they don't have those elements. I mean, Gordon, before this had those things. That's why he's amazing. But I don't see a lot of it in the rescue space, and I think that's the mistake. I think these rescue concepts are great, but then they fall short. They don't have a John. They don't have. It's very rare.
He doesn't need a teleprompter. He doesn't need anybody to tell him what to say. He just goes up there and he knows what to say every single time, and that just shows you. It's just he is bar rescue. There's nothing that makes him any better than what he is. If he's standing there right now in front of you, you're going to get the same exact person, and his personality. He's just a personable. You want to be around him. You want to talk to him. So he delivers. How many people have you met that you watch on TV that are disappointing when you meet them? And you're like, I thought you were going to be so cool.
All the time.
He's totally not disappointed. He's like,
so
of course,
great.
yeah. He's your best friend.
No, there's a lot of people on television. So it's one of my biggest disappointments being out in LA is that I would say over half of the people that I really looked up to, and then when I met them in person, I'm like, you're really not that nice. You're not that impressive.
It's upsetting.
Yeah.
But meeting him,
John's not.
It's a whole different ball game. Yeah. Sitting down, talking to him wanting to have conversations with you, John Taffer, wanting to see you succeed because he genuinely wants to see you succeed, especially if he likes you. Yeah. And he'll say that to you. And when we did our thing last year when we did ours, he was telling us things, do things differently. Oh, but don't change this. This is what's going to bring you over, and he'll freely give you information, and he's happy to give it to you because once again he wants to see you succeed. And that's what I love about him.
Agreed.
In Hollywood, who else is like that?
Who's it?
Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah,
that's who he is.
He seems like a nice
That's
guy.
who he is. That's who he is. But I think the people that have come up the ladder harder. I mean, John really worked many years to be successful at what he did. Johnny, same thing, was being shot out of a cannon for 5 cents, But anyway, so I don't want to side much. Okay, so the moment we've all been waiting for, we're 22 minutes in.
You don't disappoint.
Thank you.
How many people do you give advice to every single day of your life? You stop and spend 45
me and Dorinda,
minutes.
I was just attacking her on what I
You'll
said.
give 2 people advice for 2 hours, and then you're ready to leave, and 3 other people come over to you. You give them another 3 hours.
Always, yeah.
So
thank you. Well, I always thought that's a Boston thing, but okay.
It is a Boston thing.
So
it's also a good family thing.
Yeah, true.
You were raised by very
Thank
nice
you, Mother.
people.
My mother's on. I wish she had a mic on right now. Okay, corporate bar and grill, aka Pirates.
Yes.
So
this side of the room is beyond glowing. We're excited, but this is on another level. We can't compete. Guys. You guys just go ahead. We'll just sit and listen. We have nothing. We'll never be able to do anything that you two are going to be doing right now.
I actually didn't think I'd have much to say.
You said "arr" all night.
Arr.
That's all you did.
Arr. Well,
he's so excited. You look a little kid.
I mean, but what blew me away, we knew that she burned the sign. We knew that she turned it back to pirate. We knew all this.
She burned him in effigy.
But what we didn't know was the woman living in her parents' basement, head over heels in debt, with her bozo boyfriend in the kitchen, cooking frozen food. They somehow found more money to not just I thought they would change the sign and hang up a couple of pirates masks. No, they doubled down. They spent a lot. There was a lot of money in woodwork there.
They upped the ante with the pirates.
Yes.
What's the-
Which,
Messy.
by the way, because usually I love people who are insane. Now I'm Team Pirates. I am so Team Pirates.
What money did they use is the question I have. The money from
Parents,
two people
credit
that
cards, yes. But here's why. No, now you're at a whole other level of insane to me where, no, I got to give it to you.
Okay, so
I
why
have
would
to
they
give it
burn
to you.
everything? Sell it on eBay and then use that money. They wanted
Because-
to prove a point.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to say the royal we because we're pirates.
The whole place should be burned.
Yeah.
Do you want to put your daughter
It's
through
not for
college
sale.
or be a pirate?
Why
Pirate?
burn all these things that were given to you that were hot? I mean, everything John puts in there is going to be the best of the best.
Because she was just a woman child.
Yeah.
That's all she was.
Yeah.
And he said that. All you want, in the first episode, all you want to do is play pirate. And you saw when she walked away over the bug in the drink, I'm not putting up a... She was a
She threw a
child.
temper
She was
tantrum.
6 years old.
Temper tantrum.
That's all you're dealing with, is a 6-year-old pirate.
Okay, so is that why she literally had no problem asking for him to come back because she doesn't even think what it makes her look like?
Ashley, what would a child do? A
right,
child would
right.
scream, yell,
Yeah.
to get their ice cream, right?
Right.
And then it's like, I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
right.
Now can I get ice cream?
Yeah.
It's a child.
That's true, yeah.
That's all you do with it. And by the way, and a lot of those child parents, not mother of course was an adult parent. Thank you, mother. But a lot of the child parents that I've seen, the kids tend to be adults. And so
Yeah.
the poor girl,
Yes.
she was maturing together. She blew me away. That was another thing that blew me away about this.
The
What
daughter,
a
I know.
beautiful young
I know.
girl
She just
who
wants
was
to pay for
smart. And like
college.
I was
It
like,
was-
oh my God. And of course, John, that like hit his buttons and he said that. I feel bad for the daughter. But I can't believe like that idiot produced that. But
I know.
No, but I've seen that a lot because those kids have to be mature because the
Yes.
parents are children.
Of course.
So they have to take care of the parents.
But a certain amount of what you're around in life rubs off on you, and I was looking for it. There was nothing.
No, because again, I've seen often enough, it's like the kids in Al-Anon.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
an,
right.
like,
Yes.
like an
Of
alcoholics
course.
kid.
Oh, yeah.
Usually are like, they're straight A students, they're this, they're that, they're hard workers, they never drink.
Right.
Because they've been taught to clean up the mess.
Yes.
And by the way, alcoholism stunts your growth. It's another thing. When you start drinking, it's proven. You're anywhere between the age of 3 and 7 in your brain. Same thing. So I was blown away by the daughter, and I felt bad for her. But now that we'll get to what we know about the behind the scenes. But we got to give it up for One-Eyed Mike. By the way, what I didn't notice as much is One-Eyed Mike has developed this new accent for himself that's permanent.
Yes.
He wasn't born to talk that way.
And I don't think he had it in that episode.
I
The
thought he
original
had
one.
it. I
He
thought
had it. No, he
the
did have it.
original.
He did
The
have it.
original
But
one? Okay.
but just hearing it again, he was
just-
really
yeah.
on point. And I liked the new. What do we think of the new regalia?
Okay.
The hat.
Yes.
Upgrade.
Right?
I feel
Upgrade.
like
Yes.
they also found the money for this. How did they get new
Absolutely.
costumes?
I don't care. I love them. I'm in.
And when he was
I'm
trying
in.
to
I'm-
cut the woman's neck and
The
everything,
new
I'm sure
sword
she
and
loved
everything.
that.
It looked like that was
nice new
clean
sword.
and shiny, like a brand new, like from Kill Bill, like
Board
a
of
just
health
beautiful
approved.
sword.
Saint to some, fool to many, jack of all trades.
But it like went in and out. Certain words were in, certain words were out. He was just really. It wasn't as good as before. I think his accent he has to work on a little more. It was really strong the first time.
Because he was all in with the Taffer in the Pirates episode.
tried.
He was all in. He wanted to make money. He wanted this place to do great. He knew that she was in trouble. He wanted to see it, but he stayed with the ship, and the ship is sank, and he was the band, and he stayed.
Well, it's not that he stayed. He has nowhere else to go.
that's
There's nowhere else he can play pirate.
Yeah.
So
That is
he's
true.
gonna stay on the proverbial ship all the way. He's gonna want to sink and be with in Davy Jones' locker. He would rather die than be anything else. So to that point, Marissa.
Yes,
All right,
Kevin.
honey. I have a job for you.
Okay.
I need you to speak to Phil, and I need you to talk to. I want to try to get in touch with One-Eyed Mike. Oh my God. And I want to see if he'd be willing to relocate to LA because I think I would love to have him work here.
Okay.
I think it would be.
Can you do the impression you did in the screening room, please?
I will, but
with Phil.
But I have to. Phil's not going to like this idea. I know he's going to shoot it down, and
right.
Marie's
Well,
going to shoot it down.
I mean,
and
at the end of
whatever,
the
and I'll
day, I think
get
you have the
rude.
last say, right?
But
You
no,
and your mom and
no, I
Maria.
don't. But how great, Mom, would it to bring piracy to AfterBuzz? I think it would be wonderful. Like, who couldn't use a few pirates? No, he was amazing. Like with his seat down.
What is wrong with you?
No, why?
There's
No,
so
but by
much.
the way,
I
because
think
he's
it would be
all
great.
in, right? Because
Like-
he's all in.
Like the sound
And if I
effects, I
to-
could never
no,
watch that without
and
you
listen
again.
to me. And if I told him You're home. We're all loser misfits just like you. And if the loser misfit, I would like to
The island of
personally be.
misfit toys.
I would rather be Captain Kirk and wear my Star Trek
Okay,
uniform every
all
day.
right.
That's
I know.
my thing. But if your thing is to be a pirate,
Or your Batman costume.
yeah, I'd be a I want to be
Okay,
Batman.
all
So if
right.
he wants to be a pirate, like we will totally accept him. Marissa, you would accept him working with a pirate, wouldn't you?
Sure.
See?
I
Should
think you
she just say sure?
Sure.
You should drop him at Universal Studios. Just leave him at Universal
I mean, what's his
Studios.
role going to be here, though? What do you want him to do?
You'll
You want
teach him
to
to
be
engine. No, we'll teach him what he needs
engineer.
to do. He has it. Like, by the way, he's serving drinks there at the end of the day.
Okay.
We'll explain to him that there was no podcasting in piracy times, so that's going to be a
Right.
little bit of a stretch. But he can swab the decks.
Yes.
We have wood floors here. He can clean the floors.
He will
Yeah.
learn
We'll
his
find-
skill.
we'll
Yeah,
find
the
things.
grog. That's right. Look at we.
He can
I've got
greet
my
the guests
I've got
with
my
some
grog
grog.
right here.
Greet the guests with some grog.
No, it's like Walmart. It'll be a greeter.
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
And AfterBuzz, but like,
Yes.
imagine how great it'll be when you guys come to do your shows. You'll be greeted
When
by
we
a
have the
pirate.
celebrities that come
one
in,
eye.
he lets them in. He gives
I
them the
love
tour,
that.
the AfterBuzz tour.
Yes!
He makes a
Say,
joke
come
about
along
them
the
walking
ship
the
of the
plank.
AfterBuzz ship,
It'd be
matey.
great.
They'll call him a wench. Like
Because
he did
he's
the
going to be
customers.
out of work, and no one else is going to let him be a pirate.
Yeah.
Man, that's a shame.
But I don't know if
That
he's going to
makes
want
me
to
sad.
get. But by the way, I bet you, it's like the Greeks. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I bet you anything. If we bring him to L.A., there'll be pirates in L.A. that he can be friends with.
Oh, there are pirates in LA.
That's
I've
what I'm
met
saying.
them.
All right,
I have
Marissa,
met them.
did you
They
write
live
this
in my
down?
friend's apartment.
Can you go to
Yes.
Craigslist and see if there are any pirates that need a job so we can get more than one?
No. Wait, stop.
Wait.
No, One-Eyed Mike's been vetted. We don't.
I know, but don't you want to have one more so he doesn't feel completely like an outcast?
One at a time.
Or are you going to wear your
One at a
Batman
time.
outfit
One at a
every
time.
day?
One at a
Wait
time.
a second. Now,
What?
this is true. If I remember correctly, where Medieval Times is, across the street, I think is a pirate place.
In a White Castle, right?
Ooh, all right.
Yes.
So,
You
Dorinda,
could
for next
moonlight.
week, can you do due diligence, please,
Yes.
on that?
I
More
will find
than
out.
Pat's Cocktails. I want you to find out if there is a pirate bar.
Yes.
Because maybe I can talk to that owner. We can get One-Eyed Mike over there. Then One-Eyed Mike can come work here part-time.
Oh, wow. That's a great idea.
How do you leave talent like that on the table?
I know.
I just can't walk away.
Same way he left his eye.
But the fact of the madness that they actually spent all that money after they were just losing. I love that. That's just.
Oh, we have one here. Redwood Bar and Grill in downtown LA. It's a
Oh,
pirate
I've been
themed.
there. I've sung Christmas carols in that place.
Redwood Bar
Don't
and
ask.
Grill.
It was a weird night.
Okay, I won't ask.
But it's a great. That place is great.
Could he
Downtown
work
LA.
there? Is
All
it
right.
like on his level?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
definitely is his level.
3.5
Hook it up.
stars on Yelp out of 500 reviews, so it's not.
Wow.
pretty good.
Mariski, can you promise me you'll talk to Phil about that? It's One-Eyed Mike.
Yep, we're working on it.
Thanks, babe.
Okay.
Okay, and this was not only a
Marissa's so
fail,
good.
it was an epic fail,
It was the worst.
right?
In big bold letters.
So now I'm sure most of our fans know this, but Pirates has closed
Oh.
Yes.
as of a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Dorinda, what can you add? You were saying in the screening you had stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah. I know I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it on air.
Ah!
Legally, I cannot talk about it.
Okay. all
Legal
right.
schmiegel, come on.
I'll get myself in trouble.
No. It's
Peer
okay.
pressure, peer
It's
pressure.
all right.
It's about the episode 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
The
never
LA
mind.
Brewing Company.
No, not that
okay.
one. I don't care about
Yeah.
that. That was like, that was a big giant place and
It
blah.
is-
And
they
whatever.
did not deserve that. They did not deserve to have the most expensive bar rescue ever.
Yeah.
And I can say that.
And also but like everybody, it seems like they haven't done anything with it. It's really lame. Pirates, please stay focused. So
We're
you had
Pirates.
nothing else to add to Pirates other than it went out of business.
It just went out of business, and it just makes me sad. When I was in Annapolis, I did not stop by.
I know, you'll never be able to go there ever now.
I'll never forgive myself for that.
I mean, you can go to the old location and stand there and like do meditation.
Or
So
picket
pretend you're
it.
there.
Picket it to have them reopen.
It's not reopening,
Fine.
guys.
It's-
It's gonna be.
She was in- wait a
she's
second.
going to medieval fairs. That's
She
the rest
looked
of her
good.
deal.
She looked good.
She
though.
did
So-
look better than she did in the episode that she was in. But wasn't she $1 million in debt at the time?
Yes, but that's why I love the fact she doubled down and put more money in the
Dig
ring.
the hole
Now
deeper.
I love her. Now I think she's great.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see that you would take. I mean, she very easily could have just put a few things back up on the scene on
That's it.
on the walls.
Yeah.
She took it to a whole
No,
other
no.
level. It's
She,
just unbelievable.
yeah, she
I-
failed to dreamed it, but it did not come true.
Can I tell you what she was probably thinking? This is
What?
total civilian mentality. She was thinking that because of Bar Rescue, and it was so popular now because of Bar Rescue, like now it's going to become a landmark, and we'll put the more money in. This is what will happen. And by the way, I've seen that happen. Marty and Elaine, who perform at the Dresden.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a great story. So if you're not from Los Angeles, there's a bar called the Dresden, and there's an old couple that perform lounge music. They're like two lounge lizards. And again, I'm dating myself, but Bill Murray, his Saturday Night Live sketch where he was this cheesy lounge singer, they were the people, similar to people they were basing it off. And so probably in the late 60s, early 70s, they performed at this place every week consistently.
No way.
And the
Yeah,
bar,
they still do. They used to.
the bar looked, they didn't. The owner from the 50s and 60s on never changed anything.
Okay.
None of the decorations, nothing. And these two performed. What happened was somewhere in the 90s, a group of people found out about it and started going just as a guest. Then Swingers covered them in the movie, and then it became jammed.
Interesting.
And so sometimes that can happen where something's so bad it becomes good.
Right.
And so I think this lady was banking on that, but no, even the people, because of that neighborhood, people in the neighborhood were like,
People were
no.
horrified.
They're horrified.
Yeah.
They weren't having
Horrified.
it. They weren't having it. Anyway, well, I say, oh wait, are we getting a visit, Marissa? No. Did
I
you?
believe
Oh wait, we
I-
got Phil.
He's
Oh,
good.
Phil's here, and I was so excited because I thought he was going to come in breaking news about One-Eyed Mike.
I
He
know.
made the travel arrangements already. He went on with
It's
it.
happening.
No, he's dealing with mother. Phil, we're talking about. So I think because Pirates is gone, okay, and I think we're talking. I just listen. I'm just don't get all aggro on me. I'm just throwing this out there. Just.
You might want to sit down for this
Yeah,
one.
we're ballparking ideas.
You might want to lean on
Ballparking.
something.
Yeah,
or...
we're working. Just a little, just throwing it out there for just fun.
All right. I'm scared.
We love One-Eyed Mike. Awesome, totally in. What about One-Eyed Mike to come here, be a greeter, swab the decks, so he'll be mopping the floors. Think he doesn't have
Aye,
any
aye,
work.
Phil.
And we found an LA bar for him that he could also
Redwood Tavern, downtown LA.
Make his grog. He could serve the
Yeah,
grog.
he could maybe do that. And we could. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Like,
Ashley, you're in charge.
Oh,
no,
come
okay,
on.
no, stop. Don't kill it. Marissa's at least going to find his information. It's just for discussion. All right, I'm going to leave you alone. It's just for sake of discussion. All right,
Phil.
guys, please. We haven't done an iTunes or a YouTube shout out. If you're a fan of Bar Rescue, if you're a fan of AfterBuzz, but if you're a fan of Bar Rescue especially, check us out on iTunes and rate and comment. It always helps. Any comments or questions, you can put them there. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can do the same. And then individually, a lot of you guys tweeted us and stuff, and we love that as well. But questions, comments, have them come. Yeah, we love this show. I always just get nervous about Bar Rescue because I get it's such a great show, and I just wish they left. Spike would just stop going to the well. It's literally, it's not only the #1 show on the network, it's like the Kardashians on E!
Yeah.
It's almost the only show on the network.
I called him
Yeah.
Mr. Spike. That's
It
why
is.
he is Spike.
And so when you're an executive and your job's on the line and every year you're up for review, you're not thinking about 3 or 4 years down the road. You're
Nope.
thinking about now in ratings. And so they just keep going to the well with the show. And I just wish, I love this show so much. I don't want to do this for another year or two and be done. I want this to go 3, 4, 5 more seasons. So anyway, it just keeps getting better and better. Next week, not that we ever really do predictions on Bar Rescue, but next week looks like it's going to be a good one.
Oh yeah, looks like a great one.
We have a chauvinist, and he's going to go with a bartender competition against Mia. Good luck with that.
Oh,
Mia's
no.
nationally ranked, so that'll
Oh
be
my
fun.
gosh. She
That'd
was
be fun.
there in Vegas.
By the way, okay, so that's a good. I want to ask you about Mia in Vegas. People recognizing her, and
I was only with her a short amount of time. I mean, I can't imagine them not recognizing her. But
at the convention.
we didn't. I didn't go to the convention. I went to the parties beforehand.
Right.
But she was there, and yeah, I saw a lot of the guys looking at her, but that could be for one of two reasons: recognizing her because she's
beautiful.
stunning. She's a most beautiful creature. She's tall and perfect. So I'm sure it was a little bit of both, of course. But she was there, and she was having a lot of fun. It was really cool seeing her.
Oh, Mother, could you talk a little louder so the fans can hear you? What are you ordering?
Leave
That's
her
interesting.
alone.
Thank you, Mother.
Aw.
All right.
You keep doing you, girl.
Mariski,
Don't worry.
take us out of here, babe. But bring the music in, Marissa, and let's go around the table. Where do we find
We're dialing One-Eyed Mike.
No, let's do it.
All right, okay.
We'll-
hang
we'll
on.
s- we'll see
Sorry,
if we get
everybody.
anywhere.
Hang on.
Mike Marika speaking. How may I help you?
Hey, may I speak to One-Eyed Mike, please?
He's not in at the moment. Can I take a message?
Do you know when he'll be back?
I'm not positive.
Would you be able to write down a message to give him?
Yep, just give me one moment, please.
Thank you. Now, Phil, is that the Pirates Bar?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
it's still
So I heard it's still open. Okay. Well, by the way, we're corrected.
Anticipation.
Everyone behave.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, can you tell them that Phil Svitek, Phil at AfterBuzzTV.com, would love to talk to him about his appearance tonight on Bar Rescue, or last night on Bar Rescue. And may I ask you how? I didn't know you guys were still open.
We've never been doing as well as we are now, so I'm not sure why you would actually.
Well,
do
no,
that.
there was a report. I thought
Yeah.
there was a report in the
Yeah,
press
there
that
was a
said you
report.
guys were closing down.
Nope.
Well, we
That's
love. By the
not my
way,
fault.
we love you guys. We love the bar, and we keep saying how much we want to come to see you guys. It's on the other coast. You were in Annapolis, and you were.
Yes, and I was upset I did not get to go. We didn't have the time. I've always wanted to go to the Pirate Bar.
Yeah, you guys are legends. We love what you're doing. Keep believing. And I love the renovation. I love what you guys did. I love how you doubled down. Amazing.
I think you have us confused with another restaurant.
You're not the Pirates Bar?
I think you have us confused with another
Oh,
restaurant.
and is there
Are
a
you
one-eyed
in
Mike there?
Maryland?
No, wait, is there one-eyed Mike working there?
I believe you have us confused with another restaurant. Thank you.
Okay, wait.
So-
Very
Whoa,
controversial.
whoa.
Okay,
Maybe
Phil.
there's more than one. on
Wait
one
a second.
mic.
Is there another one? Phil, help me, Phil. What's going on?
Wait,
We'll find.
why does that number say it's One-Eyed Mike's? That's not the name of the bar. Guys.
Info.
We love it.
Hilarious.
Guys.
Okay, so we just wait. Never mind. All right.
Oh,
Nice
no.
job, everybody. That's why I need one-eyed Mike here. He would be on point. All right, now Phil, you have to hire one-eyed Mike. All right, bring in that music, Marissa. Come on, take us out of here.
Oh, God.
The little girl was like so confused. She's beat red and embarrassed. Now play through. By the way, now you see why we need one-eyed Mike here, right?
Who Googled One-Eyed Mike's restaurant?
I don't
I
know.
love
He
you
has his own
guys.
Those are my
restaurant.
kids.
We
I
try.
love them. I love
I've
them.
never been doing better,
All
she
right,
says.
let's go around. Where do we listen? Where do we find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at I am Paul Zahn and on YouTube at youtube.com/Tipsy Television.
You can find me on Twitter at Ashley Daniels and Instagram at Miss Ashley Daniels.
You can find me at Twitter at Lula Cherry Films and on Instagram at Dorinda B1.
At Undergaro, Instagram and Twitter, and I think that's it, you guys. A great show, ended on a weird note, but we will be back next week. Thanks for watching.
Okay, this is also
One-eyed
a
Mike.
It's also a
Producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
One-eyed Mike.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.